Hello students. So in this video we're going to start with division algorithm of polynomials. So let's see what is division algorithm of polynomials. Division algorithm of polynomials, that is p of x is a polynomial which can be written as g of x into q of x plus r of x. Basically we have seen what is division algorithm in the real numbers. If not, let's recall what is division algorithm. It is simply the dividend can be expressed as divisor into remainder, divisor into quotient plus remainder, isn't it? The dividend can be expressed as divisor into quotient plus remainder, isn't it? So we write A is equal to B into Q plus R, isn't it? In a similar way, if P of x is dividend and G of x is divisor, then P of x can be written as G of x into Q of x plus R of x. And we also know that the remainder is always lesser than the divisor. Similarly here, the remainder, that is the degree of the remainder, is lesser than the degree of the divisor. Okay. So whatever the degree of G of x is a polynomial, right? So whatever the degree you got for G of x, the remainder will be having less than that. Okay. So this is known as division algorithm of polynomials. That is dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Here we take dividend as P of x. G of x is our divisor. Q stands for quotient and R stands for remainder. R of x is a polynomial. Okay. So let's solve problems based on these. So what are the problems that we are going to solve is finding the remainder. When you divide a polynomial by another polynomial, what will be the remainder? And checking a polynomial, is it a factor of another polynomial? These are the two important things which are going to appear in the exam. So let's start with the problems. So as I told you, the first main, divide the polynomial p of x by g of x. Find the quotient and the remainder in each of the following. So we have to divide p of x by g of x. Okay. So let's start with the first question. So we have taken our p of x and g of x. So remember the very first step before dividing p of x by g of x, we have to arrange them in the descending orders of powers. Okay. So here p of x is already arranged in descending orders of powers, that is x cube, then x square, then x, then the constant term. Okay. Here g of x, if you observe, the highest power is 2, isn't it? So x square. After x square, usually what should come? X, isn't it? So it is not there. So what we will do is we can rewrite this g of x as x square. After power 2, we have to write power 1, right? So we'll write it as plus 0x. Okay, 0 into x is what? 0. So it doesn't make any difference. So I can write this as x square plus 0x minus 2. Now if you check it out, the powers are in the decreasing order. Okay, if any power is missing, we have to write it like this: plus 0x or minus 0x, doesn't matter, because plus 0x is what? 0 itself. 0 added with anything gives back the same thing, isn't it? Therefore we have rearranged our g of x, which is our divisor. So let's write it outside: x square plus 0x minus 2. And our dividend, what is our dividend? X cube minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 3. Okay. Now, how to find the quotient? It's very easy. Let's take the first term of the dividend and the first term of the divisor and divide it. Okay. That is, let me take this as the working column. Okay. So in the working column, so first term of dividend is x cube and first term of the divisor is x square. So x cube by x square, The powers are, I mean, the bases are same and they're divided. So we have to subtract the powers. So 3 minus 2, that will become x, isn't it? So we'll get it as x. So what is the first question? X. Okay, or let me write it on the top so it is easy. Okay. Now remember, this quotient that we have got now should be multiplied with each term in the divisor. So let's multiply. X into x square will become x cube. X into 0x will become 0x square. Isn't it? 0 as it is, x into x, x square. X into minus 2 will become minus 2x. I hope it is clear. This quotient should be multiplied for each term. Okay. Then what do? We subtract it, isn't it? So we have to change the sign. So this plus will become minus, plus will become minus, minus will become plus. We have to subtract it, so we are changing the sign. So plus x cube minus x cube gets cancelled. Here if you observe, minus 3 minus 0. Minus 3 minus 0 gives you minus 3 itself. So minus 3x squared. Here you got positive 5x. You have to observe the new sign, positive 2x plus 5x plus 2x gives you plus 7x. Both the signs are same, so we have to add it. That's what I have done. Get this minus 3. Okay. Again, the procedure follows. This is the procedure that we are going to do again and again. Take the first term, that is minus 3x squared, and take the first term here, x squared. What do you get? X squared gets cancelled. We'll be left with minus 3. So let's write that minus 3 here. Okay. That minus 3 should be multiplied for each term. So minus 3 into x square, minus 3x squared, minus 3 into 0x, it will become minus 0x. You can do it like this, minus into plus, minus 3 zeros are 0, x as it is. Okay. Again, minus into minus, plus 3 twos are 6. Now we are subtracting it, so we have to change the sign. Minus will become plus, minus will become plus, plus will become minus. Plus and minus gets cancelled. Plus 7 plus 0 gives you positive 7x. Okay. Minus 3 minus 6 gives you minus 9. Now, can I continue further? No. Why? Because the thing that we have got, reminder, what is the degree? 1. What is the degree here? The divisor degree, it is 2. Whenever the degree of the remainder is lesser than the divisor, that is where we have to stop. Okay. Here the degree is 1, but here the degree is 2. Okay. The divisor degree is more compared to the remainders. So this is the step that we are going to stop. Therefore, what is our quotient Q of x? Q of x is x minus 3, and the remainder R of x is 7x minus 9. So this is our quotient and the remainder. Let me repeat it. It's very easy. First thing is we have to arrange the polynomial, that is P of x and G of x, in the decreasing orders of powers. If any powers are missing, like x, in this x was missing, right? So we wrote it as 0x. Then we'll start dividing it. How do we divide? Take the first term. In the dividend, take the first term of the divisor, divide it. Whatever you get, that is the quotient. That quotient should be multiplied for each term. Then subtract it. Again, the first term here, divided, you get another quotient. Again, that quotient should be multiplied for each thing. Continue the same procedure until the degree of the remainder becomes lesser than the divisor. Okay, degree of the remainder should become lesser than the divisor. Then we must stop the procedure. Okay. So similarly, let's continue with the next problem. So in the second problem, P of x is equal to x power 4 minus 3x square plus 4x plus 5, and G of x is x square plus 1 minus x. So let's solve this. So here, if you observe the P of x, it is actually in the decreasing orders of powers, but there is a power 3 missing. After x power 4, we should have x power 3. It is not there. So let's introduce that. P of x is x power 4 plus 0x cube, then x square comes, then x, then the constant. And G of x is not in the proper order. After x square, x should come, that is minus x, then the constant term. Okay. So this is the procedure. We have to arrange it like this. Now let's start dividing it. Okay. The divisor is x square minus x plus 1 and The dividend is x power 4 plus 0x cube minus 3x squared plus 4x plus 5. What is the procedure? Take the first term here and first term here. That is the first term of the dividend, first term of the divisor. First term of the dividend divided by first term of the divisor. So x power 4 by x square gives you x square, isn't it? So your first quotient is x square, first term of the quotient. So multiply this with each term. So x square into x square becomes x power 4. X square into minus x will become minus x cube, or I can write it as minus 1x cube. X square into 1 becomes 1x square. Okay, now we have to subtract it, meaning we have to change the sign. Plus will become minus, minus will become plus, plus will become minus. Plus and minus gets cancelled. Here you got 0 plus, plus 0 plus 1. Plus 0 plus 1 gives you plus 1 itself. Plus 1x cube minus 3x square minus 1x square gives you minus 4x square. Get the remaining things. Plus 4x plus 5. Again the procedure continues. First term here is 1x cube divided by x square. So we get x, positive x. Let's write that positive x. X into x, sorry, x into x square becomes x cube, that is 1x cube. Positive x into negative x becomes minus 1x square, or in other words, here there is no number, right? So we can consider it as 1. So 1 into, here also there is no number. 1 into 1, 1. X into x, x square, plus into minus, minus. Okay. Plus into plus, plus. 1 into 1, 1. X as it is. Okay. Change the sign. Gets cancelled. Here you got minus 4x square plus 1x square. Minus 4 plus 1 gives you minus 3x squared plus 4x minus 1x gives you plus 3x, and get this positive 5 down. Again the procedure continues. Minus 3x squared divided by x squared. X squared gets cancelled. We are left with minus 3. So this should be multiplied for each term. Minus 3 into x squared, minus 3x squared, minus 3 into minus 1x, minus into minus becomes plus, 3 into 1x becomes 3x. Minus into plus is minus, 3 ones are 3. Change the sign, plus, minus, plus. If you observe, both gets cancelled. Here also plus 3x minus 3x gets cancelled. Plus 5 plus 3 becomes plus 8. Okay. Therefore, this is our reminder, because the degree is what? Degree of a constant number is 0. This is a constant polynomial. What is the degree of this? 0, which is less than the degree of the divisor. Therefore, we stop here. Okay, what is the quotient? Q of x is x square plus 1x minus 3, and our remainder is 8. Okay. Similarly, let's do the next problem. In the next problem, P of x is x power 4 minus 5x plus 6, and G of x is 2 minus x squared. So in this problem, P of x, let's arrange it in decreasing orders of powers. After power 4, we should have power 3 and power 2, so which are not there. So let's introduce them. X power 4 plus 0x cube plus 0x square, then comes x, then the constant number. G of x, let's rearrange it properly. First comes x square. What is the sign of it? Minus. So minus x squared. After x square, it is x plus 0x, which is not there. So let's introduce it. Then the constant number, positive 2. Okay. Now let's divide it. Minus x squared plus 0x plus 2. Then the P of x, x power 4 plus 0x cube plus 0x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay, so let's find the quotient. First term here and the first term here. That is x power 4 by minus x square. That gives you minus x square. Okay, x power 4 by x square is x square. This minus as it is. Okay, so minus into minus plus, x square into x square is x power 4. Minus into plus is minus, x square into 0x is 0x cube. Okay, then minus into plus is minus, x square into 2 is 2x squared. Okay, so plus n, you have to change the sign. Plus becomes minus, minus becomes plus, plus becomes, minus becomes plus, isn't it? Gets cancelled. 0 with 0 is 0 itself, so I can just cancel it anyhow. Okay, because 0x cube, 0x cube, even if you add it, you get 0x cube itself. You can simply cancel it. Okay, so plus 0x square plus 2x square plus 0 plus 2, that becomes 2x square. The remaining thing minus 5x plus 6. Let's take the first term here and the first term here. 2x squared divided by minus x squared. X squared gets cancelled. We'll be left with minus 2. So let's write minus 2 over here. Minus into minus plus 2 into x squared, 2x squared. Minus into plus minus 2 into 0x is 0x. Minus into plus is minus 2 2s are 4. So let's change the sign. So gets cancelled. Minus 5x plus 0x gives you minus 5x itself. Plus 6 plus 4 gives you plus 10. Now, if you observe, the degree of the remainder that we have got is lesser than this. Therefore, we cannot proceed further. Therefore, this is our remainder and this is our quotient. So, Q of x comes out to be minus x square minus 2 and R of x comes out to be minus 5x plus 10. Okay. So, this is how you find the remainder and the quotient. Now, in the next main, we have to find whether g of x is a factor of p of x. We have to find whether g of x is a factor of p of x. It is the same procedure. Okay. We have to divide g of x by p of x. And if we get the remainder as 0, then you can say g of x is a factor of p of x. I'll give you a simple example. Is 3 a factor of 6? In other words, does 3 divide 6? Yes. Because when you divide it, what is the remainder that you get? 0. In similar way, if I want to tell g of x is a factor of p of x, then when you divide this p of x by g of x, you should get the remainder as 0. If you get the remainder as 0, then you can tell it is a factor. Now let's take this example itself. Did we get the remainder as 0? No, we have not got the remainder as 0, which means this g of x is not a factor of p of x. So next main, I'll give it as a task. Try it out. It is the same procedure. We have to divide p of x by g of x. Then once we get the remainder as 0, then it is a factor. Otherwise, it is not a factor. So let's get into the third main then. So I hope second main, you guys will be able to do it. So let's get into the third main. Obtain all the zeros of 3x power 4 plus 6x cube minus 2x square minus 10x minus 5 if two of its zeros are root 5 by 3 and minus root 5 by 3. If you remember, when we started with zeros of polynomials, I told you the number of zeros is equal to the degree of the polynomial. Now, what is the degree of the polynomial here? The highest power is 4, which means we should get 4 zeros, out of which 2 of them are given, that is root 5 by 3 and minus root 5 by 3. It is given. We have to find the remaining 2. Okay, let's do that. So let's take the given polynomial. This is the given polynomial. Let's take it as p of x. Okay, and these are our 2 zeros. If you observe, the highest power is 4. Therefore, we should get 4 zeros. But they have given us 2 zeros. Using this, we have to find the remaining zeros. Okay. Now, if you remember in one of the video, that is in the previous video itself, that I told you, if alpha is a 0 of a polynomial, if this is 0 of a polynomial, then x minus that is a factor of this, isn't it? We had discussed. Therefore, root 5 by 3 and minus root 5 by 3 are zeros. Therefore, observe, let's start with the solution. Plus root 5 by 3 and minus root 5 by 3 are zeros of p of x. So p of x is this polynomial. If these are zeros, then it implies x minus root 5 by 3 and x minus of minus root 5 by 3 are what? Are factors, isn't it? Are factors of the polynomial. If these two are factors of p of x and their product is also factor of them, because even if you multiply, the degree will be lesser than this. Okay, therefore you can tell if this is a factor of p of x and this is also a factor of p of x, I can tell that if you multiply also, even then it will be a factor. Implies this x minus root 5 by 3, root 5 by 3. This minus into minus becomes plus, so I'll take it like this directly. Their product, this into this, is also a factor of p of x, is also a factor of p of x. Now this is in the form of a minus b into a plus b. So if I use the formula, it becomes a squared minus b squared. So x squared minus root 5 by 3, the whole square. So square and root gets cancelled. So directly I can write this as x square minus 5 by 3 is also a factor of p of x. I've just simplified this and I've written it. Okay. Now what we have got is this polynomial is a factor of this. Meaning if I divide this polynomial by this, what do we get the remainder as? We get the remainder as 0, isn't it? So let's divide it. Okay. If I divide this polynomial by this, I get the remainder as 0. Okay. So let's do that. So this will be the first step. Since I don't have space, I'm just erasing it. You can pause the video and you can continue. Okay. So let's take the polynomial g of x that we got is x square minus 5 by 3. Let's write it in the standard form. After x square, we should have 0x. Then comes minus 5 by 3, isn't it? So decreasing orders of powers. P of x is already in the decreasing order, so no problem. 3x power 4 plus 6x cube minus 2x square minus 10x minus 5. Okay. So let's take the first term and the first term here and divide it. Okay. So what is the first term? The first term is 3x power 4 by x square. Okay. So if you divide it, what do you get? 3x squared, isn't it? So let's take 3x squared. 3x square into x square will become 3x power 4. 3x square into 0x will become 0x cube. That is 3 into 0 is 0. X square into x is x square. Next 3x square into minus 5 by 3. I'll do it here. Minus 5 by 3 into 3x squared. 3 gets cancelled. We'll be left with minus 5x squared. Okay. So let's write minus 5x squared. Changing the sign. So this gets cancelled. Plus 6 minus 0 will give you plus 6 itself. Minus 2 plus 5 gives you plus 3x squared. The other things minus 10x minus 5. Okay. Now the same procedure. 6x cube by x squared. So we will be left with 6x, isn't it? So let's write that positive 6x here. 6x into x, 6x squared. Sorry, 6x into x squared, 6x cube. 6 into 0, 0. X into x, x squared. 6 into minus 5 by 3. Minus 5 by 3 into 6x. 3 ones are, 3 twos are. Minus 5 into 2 is minus 10x. So it will become minus 10x over here. So change the sign. So if you observe plus 6 x cube minus 6x cube gets cancelled. Plus 3 minus 0 will give you plus 3 itself. And if you observe here minus 10x plus 10x, this is also getting cancelled. The left out thing is minus 5. So let's write that. Okay. Take the first term and first term here. 3x square by x square. X square gets cancelled. You're left with 3. So there is positive 3. 3 into x squared, 3x squared. 3 into 0x is 0x. Even here we don't have x, so let's not worry about it. However, 3 into 0x is 0x. 0x is what? 0 itself. Let's not worry. 3 into minus 5 by 3. 3 gets cancelled. We'll be left with 5. So changing the sign. As you can see, the remainder is 0, isn't it? The remainder that we have got is 0. So therefore, you can tell this polynomial is a factor of this. Okay. Now I'm going to use division algorithm. Okay. What is division algorithm? P of x is equal to g of x into q of x plus r of x, isn't it? Here r of x is 0. The remainder is 0. So let's take it out. Okay, now what we have got is P of x is equal to g of x into q of x. So P of x is what? 3x power 4 plus 6x cube minus 2x square minus 10x minus 5. That is our P of x. Let me erase it and write it separately. Okay, let me write it this side. So P of X is equal to G of X into Q of X plus R of X, but the remainder is 0, so I'll leave it. What is my P of X? 3x power 4 plus 6x cube minus 2x square minus 10x minus 5. That will be equal to, I'll write it below. Okay. So G of X into Q of X. What is our G of X? X square plus 0x minus 5 by 3, or I can write it as x square minus 5 by 3 into, what is our Q of X? 3x squared plus 6x plus 3. Okay. So what we have done is, we can write this polynomial as product of this and this. That's what we have done. Okay. Now usually what we will do to find the zeros, we will equate this to 0, isn't it? We will equate this to 0. That is how we start, isn't it? Instead of equating this to 0, let's equate this to 0, because both are equal, right? So to find the zeros, instead of equating this to 0, let's equate this to 0. Okay. To find zeros, what should we do? The first step is we have to equate the polynomial to 0. 3x square plus 6x plus 3 equal to 0. Now, if a into b is equal to 0, implies a is equal to 0. X square minus 5 by 3 is equal to 0, or b, that is 3x square plus 6x plus 3 is equal to 0. So separately, we're going to factorize this. So x square minus 5 by 3 equal to 0 implies x square equals 5 by 3, or x equals plus or minus root 5 by 3, which they had already given. Okay. Now we are going to find the other two using with the help of this. Okay. So it is 3x squared. If you observe, I can divide throughout by 3. Therefore, it will become x square plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So if you factorize this, let me factorize the other side. Okay. X square plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Here a value is 1, b value is 2, c value is 1. So multiply a and c. 1 into 1 is 1. So the factors will be 1 and 1 itself. Okay. If you multiply, you should get 1. If you add, you should get 2. Okay. Therefore, you can write this as x square plus 1x plus 1x plus 1 equal to 0. So you can take x as common. Here 1 is common. We have already done this. So you should be able to do this. I'm just doing it directly. So therefore, you get two factors. Both are minus 1. You equate this to 0, x plus 1 is equal to 0, or this x plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, both the time you get minus 1 itself, isn't it? Therefore, the four zeros are plus 5 root 5 by 3, minus root 5 by 3, minus 1. Again, the other one is also minus 1. Let's recall what we have done. Okay. It's very simple. They had given us a polynomial and two zeros. If these are zeros, x minus those numbers will become factor. X minus root 5 by 3, x minus of minus root 5 by 3 are factors. If individually they are factors, their product is also a factor. So we multiplied it, therefore we got this polynomial. Okay. So we divided this polynomial by this so that we get the quotient. Now we are going to use the division algorithm. P of x is equal to g of x into q of x plus r of x. R of x is 0, forget it. Therefore, P of x can be written as g of x into q of x. That is this into this. So to find the zeros, we equate this to 0. Instead of doing like that, we are equating this to 0 because both are same, right? So on equating to 0, we got the four zeros. 2 are here and 2 are here. So this is a procedure for finding the remaining zeros. So try out few more example problems. You will understand much more better. Okay. So let's get into the next problem. So here on dividing a polynomial, on dividing x cube minus 3x square plus x plus 2 by a polynomial g of x, the quotient and the remainder were x minus 2 and 2 minus 2x plus 4 respectively. Find g of x. So in the first question, they were giving us p of x and g of x, and they were asking us to find the quotient and the remainder. They have done the reverse here. They have given us p of x, q of x, and r of x. We have to find the g of x. So let's do that. So we have written p of x, the given thing g of x, we have to find q of x is given, r of x is given. Now using division algorithm, we know that p of x can be written as g of x into q of x plus r of x, isn't it? We'll get the r of x the other side. What we are trying to do is we are trying to find the formula for g of x. Okay, p of x minus r of x is equal to g of x into q of x. What we need is g of x. We don't need this q of x. So get at the other side. So p of x minus r of x divided by q of x will give you the g of x. Okay, that is, if we subtract the p of x and the r of x, the answer that we get, if we divide by q of x, we are going to get the g of x. First, let's subtract p of x minus r of x. So p of x minus r of x, that will be equal to x cube minus 3x squared plus x plus 2 minus, there are two terms, therefore let's put a bracket, minus 2x plus 4. Okay, x cube minus 3x squared plus x plus 2 minus into minus plus 2x minus into plus minus 4. So let's simplify this. We get x cube minus 3x squared plus x plus 2x will become plus 3x plus 2 minus 4 will give us minus 2. So this is p of x minus r of x. This we are going to divide by q of x. Okay, let's do that. So what is our q of x? Our q of x is x minus 2. Okay, what is our p of x minus r of x that we have got? X cube minus 3x squared plus 3x minus 2, isn't it? Now what is the procedure? Take the first term here and the first term here, divide it. X cube by x, x cube by x, what do we get? X squared. So our first quotient is x squared. So let multiply. X square into x is x cube, x square into minus 2 is minus 2x squared. So change the sign, gets cancelled. Minus 3 plus 2 gives you minus 1x squared. The remaining things as it is. Now again, the first term here is minus x squared, the first term there is x. So we get minus 1x. That will be our next quotient. So minus 1x. Minus 1x into x is minus 1x squared, minus into minus, plus 1x into 2 is 2x. Change the sign, gets cancelled. Plus 3 minus 2 gives you x. Get this minus 2. Okay, so the first term is x and the first term there is also x, therefore we will be left with 1. That is our next quotient. So 1 into anything is same thing, so you get x minus 2 itself. On subtracting, both gets cancelled, the remainder is 0. Definitely it will be 0. Okay, so the answer that we have got is x square minus 1x plus 1. That will be our g of x. Therefore on dividing this by this, what is the answer that we got? X square minus 1x plus 1. So that is our g of x. So it's very easy. We found a formula for g of x, which is p of x minus r of x by q of x. Subtract p of x and r of x. Whatever the answer that you get, you divide it by q of x. That answer gives you the g of x. Okay, I hope it is understood. So let's do the next problem. So the next problem is very, very easy one. Here, what we have to do is, we have to find the examples. Okay, the first one, degree of p of x is equal to degree of q of x. In the second example, we have to find degree of q of x should be equal to degree of r of x. And the third one, degree of r of x is equal to 0. The third one is very, very easy. When do you say degree of r of x is 0? If you get the remainder as a constant number. In one of the example, one of the problems that we solved, we got the remainder as a constant number, 8 or something. That can be an example. Degree of q of x is equal to degree of r of x. The previous problem itself, the fourth one, as you can see, the quotient is what? X minus 2, and the remainder is what? Minus 2x plus 4. Both the degrees are what? Same, isn't it? That itself is an example. Okay, and degree of p of x is equal to degree of q of x. For this, let's write the example. So we have to get degree of p of x is equal to degree of q of x, isn't it? This is possible when we take the divisor to be a constant. Okay, g of x, if we take it as a constant, is possible. For example, let's say p of x is anything. Let's simply take it as x square plus 2, and you take g of x as 2. Okay, and your q of x, or yeah, q of x will be, let's say 4x squared plus 3. something like this, or let's do it like this. We know that P of X is equal to G of X into Q of X, isn't it? So plus reminder R of X. Let's take this reminder to be 0. Okay. Let's take this as x square plus 2, and let's take this G of X as 2. So P of X will be 2x squared plus 4. Now if you observe, this is a polynomial that I've given as an example. This is my P of X. What is the degree of this? 2. What is the degree of Q of X? There is also 2. As you can see, I've taken the divisor to be a constant, then it is possible. Or you can also take everything to be a constant polynomial. P of X is a constant polynomial, 6. G of X is also a constant polynomial, 5. And Q of X is also a constant polynomial. Okay. If you observe, what is the degree of this? 0. What is the degree of this? 0. This is a better example. If you take the constant polynomials, the degree will be 0. Or otherwise, it's simple. You take this as a constant, you can give an multiple examples. Okay. So with this, we have completed with polynomials. I hope you guys have understood. Thank you, students.